Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to a very special match preview recorded live on Sunday afternoon with Tom, Matt, and myself. We looked ahead to Tuesday night's game at home to Crystal Palace. As always, we are partnered with Match Bingo. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes, and each time you play, you support the crucial life-saving work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance. Download your app on the App Store, Google Play Store, I think it's called, wherever you normally get your apps. Just head there, find Match Bingo, download, and have a whole lot of fun. Play Match Bingo, win cash prizes, over 18s only, be gamble aware. Right, Crystal Palace at home Tuesday night. Here's our match preview recorded live on Sunday afternoon. This is right, Crystal Palace, fellas. We haven't played Crystal Palace since 2017, all right? 22nd of August 2017 was our last game in the League Cup. We lost that 2-1. Our last league game was in 2013, where we won 3-0 that day at Portman Road. Because anybody remember the 2013 3-0 win?
Yeah, all first half goals, weren't they? Cresswell gets one.
Yep.
Cresswell, yeah.
Frank Noble.
Spot on the money, fellas. Yeah, Frank Noble opened the scoring on the 37th minute. Then Cresswell on 45 and Noble on 45. Town team that day was Scott Loach, Aaron Cresswell, Tommy Smith, Richard Stearman. No, that was a right back, ladies and gentlemen. That was a player.
He was alone, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was from Wolves. Chambers, Edwards, J. Emmanuel Thomas, Luke Heim, Gerard Indoor. Oh, Gerard Indoor. I absolutely love that player, Tom. Do you remember Gerard?
Yeah, he was great on FIFA.
Yeah.
I remember that. But yeah, he was an absolute unit, wasn't he? But
absolute player. Yeah.
Burst the ball in the centre circle against Birmingham. I think it's in the Ipswich reception, isn't it? He goes in for a tackle and the ball exploded.
Yep. Yeah. I think if Paul Joy actually started playing Gerard Indoor, he might have kept his job a bit longer. Because for some reason he wasn't playing Gerard Indoor, and then Mick comes in and starts playing him, if my memory serves me correctly.
Palace go up that season, I think.
Well, they must do because they don't play him after that, so they must go up. Have they been there ever since? Have they been in the Premier League ever since?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a funny team, Palace, aren't they? Because they're a team that have been in the Premier League for a long time, Tom. But they're a team also that you never really think about, if I'm honest. Does that make people always say, Brentford's or Brighton's or, but Palace have been there for a long time and deserve the same respect and credit, don't they?
Yeah. And then they're a London side as well. They're just sort of in the shadows a little bit, aren't they, compared to your Chelsea's and Arsenal.
Am I right in thinking that, Tom?
They're probably the equivalent of what us and Coventry were in the Championship for so many years. Because I think us two were there for 18 years and nobody was like, they're not going up, they're not going down. They're just kind of there, really. But I think, Palace seem like a pretty well-run club, aren't they? They've got some good backing behind them and some exciting players that I'm sure we're going to probably touch on.
Yeah, so obviously into this match day number 14. Crystal Palace in 17th, 9 points. We are in 19th on 9 points. So there's 3 teams on 9 and Southampton on 5. So it's a huge game coming up. What are our thoughts heading into it? I'll start with you, Tom. Is it a must-win game? That's the first question I'll ask. Is it a must-win game?
It's probably not, because we're not halfway through the season, and there's a long way to go, and there's potential to climb up the league. So I probably wouldn't go as far as that, but must not lose, probably. Don't want to build the gap or get the gap bridged a bit too far. I think we can win this one. It's at home, under the lights. I'm trying to think, has McKenna's record under the lights at Portman Road, have we lost yet? I can't remember if we have.
I think we've lost one, haven't we? I think now. I'm not quite sure on that, but it was a very good record in the Championship, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was insane, wasn't it, for a while? Yeah. So I probably not must win, but don't lose it. I mean, that's not very optimistic of me to say. I think we can win, and I think we will win, but I just probably won't go as far as saying,
All right. Mike the Fishman says, must-win game. How can it not be, Matt Phillips? Is it a must-win game, Media Mogul?
Yeah, it depends what context you're looking in. I do agree with Mike a little bit there. I mean, if we are to state, look, because we keep seeing the comments, if you go in after the Forest game, if you keep playing like that, you'll stay up. Well, we played like that and we lost. So, I mean, look, the only reason we're going to stay up is if we start winning games. And I do agree with Mike from that respect that, you've got Palace and Bournemouth back-to-back. And I know Bournemouth hit 4 yesterday, but I mean, bloody hell, they got 3 pens, didn't they? Cliver scored a hat-trick of penalties. You get 3 in 90 minutes. We haven't had one all season, but so that from that respect, I think. I mean, from the league table-wise, maybe not, but we do keep saying we're in a mini division and you want to be getting 3 points off your relegation threatened rivals, and they are They are one at the moment. So yeah, I mean, look, they pulled out a draw themselves yesterday, didn't they? Something we couldn't do. They score right at the death, don't they, to get the 1-1 with Newcastle. But I'm confident going into that game. Look, they're down there for a reason. It's because they haven't been playing. They're playing below how they were last season. I think they finished 10th last season. I think, if memory serves me right. When Glasner, look, Glasner isn't the manager I know well because obviously I follow Frankfurt in Germany, and he was there for a number of years and won the Europa League for them. But he's quite a conservative manager. And in the end, Frankfurt fans kind of got bored with him, even though he won silverware there, and they kind of terminated his contract early, I think, from memory, and brought in Dino Topmüller. So it'd be interesting to see how long Palace's ownership, as Tom rightly says, they are well run. Simon Jordan will tell you that he started all that on TalkSport, no doubt. But it'll be interesting to see how long they will tolerate Glasner if there's no signs of improvement. Who they bring in, I don't really know. Whereupon obviously McKenna has got a job for life at Town, I think. So it just shows you the difference in the two clubs, doesn't it?
But this is a club that obviously looked or checked in on McKenna. If the reports are believed, they're obviously a club that looked at McKenna. Rob says, don't let the Palace Newcastle scoreline fool you. Palace were all over Newcastle yesterday. They just kept missing their chances. We need to be on our game Tuesday. And Rob's right. I dipped into a Crystal Palace post-game reaction show yesterday. So their fan equivalent. Very much that feeling. Consistency was a word I kept seeing as well. So they're a team that, not quite yet put it all together.
Yeah.
But obviously have shown over the years that they are a good Premier League side, a solid mid-table Premier League team, a team that we're obviously aspiring to be.
I did see a little bit of it on Match Today, and they obviously score right at the death, and they did the old benches clear down to the corner flag, all jumping on top of one another. And Glasner, unlike him, was down there as well. That does suggest to me a bit of desperation, like you're celebrating a point, like you've just got free.
Maybe you would do that late in the game, though, wouldn't you? I mean,
yeah.
Perhaps when I hear what you're saying. So the manager being down there, part of those emotional scenes as well, where there's obviously that perhaps that build up of pressure around.
That shows you the space they're in, then, doesn't it? I mean, obviously that point does move them out of the relegation zone, but I don't know. That seemed a little bit desperate to me, to be honest. But I mean, look, we've had benches cleared before, haven't we? The Valley.
We have. Yeah. Phil says must-win game because it's one of our relegation rivals, and we need to start winning our home games as we haven't won one yet. Paul says hate the phrase, but Palace is a real 6-pointer. I'm in both camps here, gentlemen. I agree with both of you. I agree it's a must-not-lose, Tom. Completely got on board with that. At least walk out with at the very least walk out a point. But I'm also in the camp of it's a must-win. This is as close as you're going to get to a must-win in 14 games into a season. If you don't win this game, if you lose this game, your nearest rival to safety is Palace. Well, Palace is a point behind Leicester, but it's Leicester and Palace. Palace go 3 points ahead of you. Leicester obviously are already a point ahead of you. They could be 4 ahead of you. You really are then looking up, and it's suddenly 2 games, not 1 game, or not if they lose and we have a good result, we can get ourselves out of it. You start to play that game of that, that is it better to be hunted or the hunter? And we've been there before.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a mustn't lose, but it's certainly as close as you're going to get to a must win. Michael Fishman, every game in the Premier League is a must win if you want to stay up. Every game in general is a must win. We want to win every game. But okay, let's look at the 11 then. Any changes from Nottingham Forest for you, Tom? I'm going to put forward an argument for Greaves to come in for Burgess if Greaves is able to. Would you agree with that, or is it now Burgess' shirt to keep until he either injured or suffers a dip in form?
Yeah, I've heard about this, given it's a 3-game week, and do you kind of rotate in that sense? But I guess the question is Burgess our long-term left centre-back? Yes. And if he's fit, should he play? Yes. So therefore, he should probably come in at the earliest opportunity. And as harsh as that is on Burgess, who I think has been brilliant, I think Greaves just gives us a bit more dynamism, better passing angles. Is that a McKenna thing he said? Like he's just a bit better at it. So yeah, I think if your best players are fit, then they should be playing, especially in the position that we are in. So yeah, for as good as Burgess has been, I think we just need to start playing our best players. And I think O'Shea and Greaves is a pretty good pairing, and O'Shea's been getting better and better. So I wouldn't be worried about that at all.
Yeah, I agree with O'Shea. Absolutely phenomenal defender, emerging in front of our very eyes, Matt. And obviously, Tom there says he'd play Greaves over Burgess. That's going to send a lot of people at home watching live and on catch up a little bit into you can't drop Burgess. You can't, what you know, and they would be right. But equally, Tom is right as well in the sense of long term. Who is the left side centre half? Do you feel? Because obviously, Greaves has come in for the big fee. It's as McKenna said on Friday, Matt. It's a great problem to have.
Yeah, it is. It is. Burgess has done well. I didn't think he was that great against Brentford, in all honesty. But I think in the games where we've picked up the points, Leicester, which should have been 3, Spurs, Man United, he's done well, and he could have scored yesterday. Very unlucky not to score. It was a good block by that Einer on the back post there, wasn't it? But we debated this in the week, didn't we? You've paid the big fee for Greaves? Does he come straight back in? But it'd be harsh on Burgess. But then McKenna's paid the big bucks, and as a Premier League manager, let him make the decision. But I think it would be, taking the evidence into account, I think it would be harsh on Burgess to drop out at the moment. But and he links up nicely with Davis, I think. I mean, let's not forget that ball he plays down that left side for Davis to run on. He's got that to a T, but then you've been playing that in League One and the Championship, haven't you? So he's kind of like, he sets it up on a plate for him, basically. I'm not sure Greaves does that potentially. Look, Greaves got Rick in him and all, hasn't he? I mean, cost us a goal against Villa at Portman Road. I think Burgess has done well. Burgess has done better than I thought. I think you like Burgess in League One, TJ, quite frankly. I mean,
okay, hold up. Half time. Hit the like button, subscribe, support Talking Town any way you can. And don't forget, we are partnered with Stowmarket Osteopaths. Don't live life in pain. Give Freddie a call on 01449 613 633. Why Freddie? Because he is the governor at Stowmarket Osteopaths, and tell him the gov at Talking Town has sent you. You're sort of circling the point there, Matt, without saying it. You kind of want Greaves, but you don't want Greaves. You're kind of circling, driving around the houses here in terms of the point. And I can see why, and I'm with you a little bit, because Greaves did nothing wrong before the injury. Just say, get him out of there. Yeah. But Burgess has done absolutely nothing wrong since he was put back in the team. Yeah. And in fact, we've probably looked really comfortable and solid since he came back in. Whether that's a part of him or whether that's because of the team's learning at week by week and getting better as a collective, you could always separate and debate until the cows come home. He's
shown a set piece threat, Burgess, isn't he? It's the bar at Tottenham. Let's not forget. He does. Everyone forgets that because go on and win the game. And he's unlucky not to get 2 goals actually in the last 3-4 games, whatever it might be. But then obviously against West Ham, Greaves has the header that flashes just wide, could have put us 2-1 up. So it is. So to go back to the top of the point, mine, it's a good headache for McKenna to have. He can make the decision on it.
Yeah, and I completely agree. Yeah, that is a great problem to have. You'd be so disappointed if you're Burgess in terms of being dropped, though. It's a real tough question. Less of a tough question, maybe, right back. If Axel can't go Tuesday, and it might come around too quick, Tom, with a hamstring, you perhaps don't want to risk it, even if he's, is fine. Do you want to risk that to make it a long-term situation? Probably not. So let's live in the world that Axel can't play Tuesday. Tom, who's your right back? Who is playing right back? Luke Wolfenden played right back at Selhurst Park once upon a time. Perhaps he could play right back, or is it Johnson, or is it Clark? Who are you playing at right back, Tom?
If he's fit, it's Johnson, because Eze plays on that side, and I'd be quite worried about having Clark, who's probably a bit more attacking in that sense. Probably wants to bomb forward. I'd want a bit of stability to take Eze on, and that's why Axel's going to be such a big miss at right back, because he would have been perfect for us in that position. So, I'll go a bit more conservative in that sense and say Johnson if he's fit. Hope he is.
Yeah, agreed. All right, into midfield, Matt. Any argument for Phillips to come back in if he's fit, or is it now a case of this is Karius and Morsey's midfield? They're a partnership. They complement each other so well. And until one's injured or can't play through suspension, and Morsey walked the line very closely on Saturday against Nottingham Forest, but he didn't get a booking, as far as I'm aware, so he can go Tuesday. Is it Morsey and Karius for you?
Yeah, I think so. But I thought Phillips was having a good game against Leicester. We mentioned it in a week. I thought he was having a good game against Leicester until he got the red card. I don't know. Just my own personal preference is I just like the difference in the 2 players of Morsey and, as TJ said earlier, Morsey and Phillips seem very similar to me. I just like the box-to-box energy that Karius brings, and he's just a much quicker player. Whether or not he's got a better passing range than Phillips, I don't know. Remember Phillips' careers have been in the basement. He's come to us to try and reignite the fire a little bit, hasn't he? And he's always had a good range of passing, which is why he played for England at the Euro 2020. Yeah, I just think it suits better. The attacking threat at home, I just think suits better Morsey and Karius for me, yeah.
And with that option to buy, if you stay up, obviously long term, Karius could be the answer as opposed to Phillips. And are you impressed, Matt, with how consistently Sam Morsey walks the line between being his tenacious self but not getting booked?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. Shame he just can't. I mean, is he playing within himself? Is he just having to watch these tackles?
Oh, he wasn't yesterday, was he? Let's be honest. I mean,
Well, he
he's
could
got
have
a
got
great
booked.
innocent face. Have you seen when
Yeah.
the camera pans him after a tackle and you notice a foul? He's like, his face is so innocent. Like, I didn't touch him. It's like, it's
Felt he
great.
should have been booked for the one on the edge of the box. TJ, was it Anderson who goes down? They brought Anderson into the kid who cost like 30 million from Newcastle. Was like, what the hell? Yeah, Talk certainly thought he could have got a yellow there and would have been out of the game, but thankfully he's not. But yes, it's weird, isn't it? How he can go on a run of games getting yellows. We see it in the Football League, and then suddenly he goes months with weeks without, getting booked. I find it bizarre, but at one point we're going to get Houston Phillips in the team, aren't we? So that'd be an interesting dynamic, whoever that opposition may be. It's coming sooner rather than later, I would suggest.
Which we had against Brentford, and I thought they played
all right in
well
that game,
together. And I thought Phil said earlier was probably more on the money in terms of, Kayust and Morsey play well together. Kayust and Phillips play well together, but Morsey and Phillips perhaps don't complement each other as well as the other option,
doesn't it? I mean, look, certainly Phillips and Kayust played in that Wimbledon Carabao Cup game, didn't they? But they were both new to the club then. They were complete strangers to each other. Certainly, there was definitely improvement in the Brentford game. Well, we scored 3 goals away from home in that game, and Phillips was central to a couple of those goals, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not living in the world of Delap needs a rest. He's playing Saturday. He's playing until he can no longer play. Is Delap? That's the way it's going to be. But who's the 3 behind him? Give me your 3 behind him, Tom. Then I'll ask for your 3 if it's different. Matt, Tom, who's the 3 behind Delap on Tuesday?
Burns, Hutchinson, Broadhead.
Burns. Okay, so you're bringing Nathan Broadhead in onto the left, dropping some of Smollett to the bench. Burns back onto the right, and Amari, did you say, in behind? Is that right? Or did you say
Chaplin out. And you're taking Chaplin out, are you?
Okay, all right. Again, 3 good players. Not many people will argue with that. Matt, you agreement or are you changing it?
I like the idea of bringing Broadhead in. The fact he hasn't had many minutes makes me think I would maybe keep the same 3 again. I wouldn't want to drop Smodics out because he's looked good for us. I wouldn't want to drop, and he scores obviously that great goal at Spurs. I wouldn't want to drop him out just on the back of giving the penalty away. I would probably incline to stay with the 3 that we had yesterday, and then just see what options we've got off the bench as the score goes. I don't know whether we'll go 1-1, 1-1, 0-0, whatever it might be.
Rob says Burns and Murray Schmodics. I'm intrigued by the start of Broadhead. That really does. I'm a big Nathan Broadhead fan. The fans obviously love him because you hear him when he's warming up, coming on. The Broadhead song, and he's got a lot of memories that he's created for us. So I'm really intrigued by him playing left, but I'd probably edge towards Schmodic still. And then I'd go either Mari or Chaplin, Burns or Romario. It's a real...
We floated this one before, haven't we? There's an idea to maybe start Schmodic on the bench, and then he comes on as the 9 to replace Delap. Because Al Hamidi's not going to... As much as I like Al Hamidi, he's not a Premier League player at the moment. He's 22 years old, come through Tranmere Academy, whatever. He's just not at the level to replace Delap, and we saw that in the Man United game. So I feel like we do need some kind of attacking option off the bench, whether it might be a Smodics or Broadhead. I mean, I know that's not Broadhead's true role particularly, but we know Smodics can play down the middle. So they've got to think about me, because Delap's only 21, and like you say, he'll run forever. But we can't risk him getting burnt out, injured, whatever.
No,
because then we're really up Ship Street. Then he ain't got hers to him.
That is the issue that we've found ourselves, and obviously we didn't do enough in the summer potentially to bring that extra body in or whatever.
Like the recruitment, I still keep going back. They put all their eggs in that the Brozier basket.
He hasn't played for Everton yet, has he?
He ain't played for Everton yet. It's just seemed ludicrous to me, but we left it too late, didn't we? But we've got to try and navigate Delap through the December fixtures because he's critical for all of them. He's critical for all of them.
It's why it's a little bit frustrating in the sense, if you're going to get beat, can it be 2-0? And so we can hook Delap off, because 1-0, there's a way back into the game, right? There's a way back into the game. It's almost like you can play Football Manager and know the result beforehand. You're like, well, okay, so we're going to lose anyway. So 2-0 down, fine. We'll bring Delap. Because yesterday you wanted Delap on the field, Tom, because you felt 1-0, obviously get her back in the game, and he played those minutes. We didn't get the result, anything from the game, and it's just like they wasted minutes almost because we so badly need to protect him. Does that make a lot of sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And it's kind of part of my rationale for the 3 behind Delap, to be honest, is I agree with Matt that Schmodic's playing him up top to rotate that, probably sub Delap off a bit earlier, because it's a 3-game week, we've got to remember as well. So we are pushing the players a lot in this week as well. So I think, just bringing in some fresh legs and being able to rotate them out before next Sunday against Bournemouth. I think we just need to rotate that a bit more on Tuesday. So, yeah, we've got to look after these lot and just pray the lap doesn't get injured.
Absolutely. All right, let's go for this. Being Frank says, I agree, by the way, Phil. Oh, no, that's about the ref. We've got not convinced about Burns at Premier League level. Not much end product from our right when he's played so far. That was the comment I was after. Eric, Schmolix and Brody would be a good alternate. Yeah. I mean, Jack Clark obviously could play, you know. But no one's mentioned Jack Clark yet.
I think it's harsh on Burns, isn't it, to say that? I do agree with that point. That, you know, is he Premier League level? But what was his starting point? We bought him from, he came on a free transfer from Fleetwood. He's gone through League One to the Championship to the Premier League with us. Now we're expecting him to put in the same performances against international Champions League players. It's very difficult. It goes back to the point we said at the top of the show, really, where we had the impact from the bench last season when we're on par with the opposition. You know, we're down the bottom for a reason, aren't we? Because you know, we're not as good as the other clubs at this point in time.
All right, let's finish up the show as a whole and the match preview with a score prediction. Tom, you can go first. Score prediction, please, for Tuesday night, Crystal Palace.
2-1 Town.
Love that. Matt, your score prediction, please.
Yeah, I was going to go with that as well. Look, there's not a pushover game, this, is it? I think they've lost 1 in 6 in all competitions. So Glasgow has kind of picked them up, and obviously they get the last-minute equaliser yesterday. I don't know, but I just go back to that. Just felt desperate to me that you celebrate a goal like that for 1-1. Ipswich I really want Ipswich to get 6 points in these next 2 games, and starting on Tuesday. So, yeah, I'll say 2-0 just to be a little bit different to TJ's one.
Well, you had us last week beating Palace in your points prediction for December. So you got to stick. Are you sticking with that?
Yes.
Sounds like you are.
Yes. I think Town under lights. I'm pretty convinced we haven't lost a game under lights. If we in league games anyway, we were debating it earlier. I can't think of one. I've been thinking about it. I can't think of one other than Carabao Cup games, but not league, not fixtures. But yes, let's go there and let's beat them. Let's beat them. Let's make a point against Palace and, you know, leapfrog them in the table. Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, thank you for watching Talking Town this afternoon. You can also catch us post-game for after Crystal Palace. Directly after the game, we'll be live. Hopefully, we'll have a Meet the Opposition out for you this week as well. I'm trying to set that up as we speak, but time is limited. So if we don't get one out, my apologies to you all at home. But for today, we're done. Catch us, as I say, on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Discord if you're a YouTube member. If not, hit the join button and become one. And there we go. Is it a must win? What will the score be? Who will play? Greaves or Burgess? Phillips or Kayust? Who plays at right back? So many questions. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, we are partnered with the East Anglian Air Ambulance Lottery. Support the life-saving work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance by playing their weekly lottery. Prizes range from £50 to £1,000 for just £1 a ticket. Best way to play is online. Links in our description. Players must be aged 18 or over, and please be gamble aware. Have a great day. Lots of love. God bless. Bye-bye.